Hello and welcome to the Yorkshire Voice News at 4 o'clock. I'm Demae Williams. Coming up on today's show, in the wake of a critical report on the Met, we'll be asking a former West Yorkshire police officer if it's any better here. But first, the news in brief. A family member of Trust Junior Gangato, known to his friends and family as TJ, has set up a GoFundMe fundraiser to raise money towards the cost of the 17-year-old boy's funeral. He was stabbed at a house party in Armley, Leeds in the early hours of Sunday morning. 14-year-old girl Savannah Abbey from Calderdale, who went missing in the early hours yesterday morning, has been found safe and well. A new affordable housing development in Chapeltown in Leeds has been named after a celebrated teacher. Gertrude Paul was the first black teacher in Leeds. She was also a founding member of the Leeds West Indian Carnival. Gertrude Paul Court is made up of 24 flats and is the larger of the two blocks of the Unity Homes and Enterprise scheme. Gertrude Paul died in 1992. Her daughter Heather unveiled a specially commissioned piece of art to celebrate her mother's legacy. The historic George Hotel in Huddersfield is set to reopen. The hotel is known as the birthplace of rugby league. The Grade 2 listed building located in St George's Square next to the train station will undergo extensive renovations to return the hotel to its previous form as a Radisson Red Hotel. It's set to open winter 2024. And that's the news in brief. Now, following yesterday's damning report on the behaviour of some of the officers within the Met, Mia is joined in the studio by former West Yorkshire Police Officer Donna Easton.
Thank you, Demea. The report by Baroness Louise Casey looked at the Met Police's standards of behaviour and internal culture. She said she had found evidence of institutional racism, sexism and homophobia, but she stressed that many of these issues are far from new and not limited to the London force. Joining me in the studio is Donna Easton, a former officer for the West Yorkshire Police. Thank you for joining me, Donna.
No problem.
So, as a former police officer for West Yorkshire Police, how does this report make you feel?
I think it's sadness that it's come again in the wake of a real tragedy with Sarah Everard, but overwhelmingly frustration, review after review after review, and what changes. And I think ultimately the message that lots of people get and wider society get is that the police are untouchable because they don't have to change.
And is this something you've seen or experienced with yourself within the West Yorkshire Police Force?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we could replace the Met Police in Baroness Casey's report with UK police forces. I don't think it's the Met Police are unique in this by any means. I think this could be applied to all West Yorkshire police forces. And, you know, there are leadership within the forces that must be looking at this report and wondering and thinking, is this part of what we do as well?
And within the report, it stated that the majority of Met police officers do not represent the people of London. Do the West Yorkshire police officers represent the people of West Yorkshire?
Yeah, I think that's twofold, really. I think that the problems with Met police officers being able to live and work in London contribute significantly to that. I think that West Yorkshire police officers are more representative of the communities that they serve, but there's still lots to be done in terms of equity for everybody joining the police and people wanting to join the service as well, seeing people like them and wanting to represent their community.
And as someone who teaches current police officers, and in September you'll be teaching some new officers as well, how important do you think education is with changing the police?
I think it's central and it's critical to professionalise the police force, allow people to think critically, to know the context of the society that they're policing in and be able to operate in that wider environment. It's really key moving forward for the police force to effect change.
And do you think this education will help police officers change their perspectives?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think professionalising the force is one of those things that will elevate the standards, enable officers to, you know, lots of people who typically wouldn't have come to university to gain an education and feel as though they're part of something in society.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
A historical fountain in Ilkley is set to be replaced with new designs submitted by 3 local artists. Amelia Riley has this report.
The fountain was first installed in 1886 at the top of Brook Street, but was removed in the 1960s after falling to disrepair. Local charity Improving Ilkley asked the public to send in designs for the replacement.
It was originally built by the Health Board, who decided that they wanted somewhere for people to meet and greet and chatter when they came in to town. When it was originally put in, it had a very ornate structure. So there were 3 big horses all around it, and then it had a large central fountain, and it was about yay high, so it was quite large.
Ideas by local artists Laura Dawes, Sean Dowker and Juliet Gutch have been shortlisted as the final 3 designs, and they focus on sustainability and affordability.
We've had a load of support for it. At first it was just a crazy idea, I think, by a few engineers and myself, who just thought, wouldn't it be interesting to see if we could get a gravity-fed mechanism to work, and the community have kind of got behind it.
The public are being asked to choose their favourite, and the winner will be announced next Friday. The chosen artist will receive a cash prize of £500 and be asked to further develop their design for the new fountain to be installed and working by this summer.
Now, this evening we'll see the start of the holy month of Ramadan, which impacts the lives of many people throughout the world and of course within this region. A short time ago, we spoke to Shazia Arshad from Islamic Relief UK about the way Ramadan has changed in recent years.
Ramadan is ever evolving, and it's so exciting to see how it changes, because from one year to the next, people will think of new traditions and think of new things to be doing. I think some of the things that have been really interesting is how the spirit of communities really developed. Back in yesteryear, if we're talking maybe even hundreds of years ago, that spirit of community was always important. So breaking the fast together at the end of the day. But that's really evolved. And if we look, for example, at some of the things that we're involved in this year as Islamic Relief, we're sponsoring a number of big iftars where people are coming together really to bring people together, break bread, share fasting, share their experiences of fasting. And sometimes it's, with both Muslims and non-Muslims. And I think that's one of the really wonderful things about how Ramadan has evolved.
Well, to find out more about what Ramadan means, we've been talking to people outside the Thornbury Mosque in Bradford.
Ramadan basically is like a time for reflection on oneself. It's time to reflect on what you are as a person, what's the purpose of your being, making sure that, to moving forward in life, that the fundamental pillars of Islam, and basically trying to be better yourself.
Basically, Ramadan, this is one of the months from all months, like for 12 months. This is a blessed month. Like the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially like we can get in this month. So we keep roza like all day in whole month, like 29 or 30 days. And the night time we need namaz, like we need prayer and we do dua. So the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala especially come for us.
A lot of things you can't do in Ramadan, which you shouldn't do anyway. Not swearing, not doing backbiting or anything like this. So Ramadan means you're submitting your will to God.
So happy Ramadan, but will it be happy weather for the holiday? The short answer is no. Showers will be moving east through the rest of the afternoon, with strong winds persisting, easing slightly later. The maximum temperature will be 13 degrees. It will be dry and clear again into the early evening. A band of cloud and rain will arrive during the late hours, but will be clearing before dawn. Winds remaining strong and the minimum temperature 3 degrees. Thank you for joining us today. We're back tomorrow at 4, so make sure to come back and join us again. That's all from us for now. Goodbye.